The NFL isn't just about touchdowns and tailgates. It's America's most dramatic reality show in helmets. Between the miracle comebacks and are the refs blind calls, things sometimes feel a little too entertaining. Over the years, fans, players, and your uncle who still thinks the league is rigged have pointed out some very suspicious stuff. Some theories are total nonsense. Others might just make you raise an eyebrow. Or two. So grab your tinfoil helmet, cue the X-Files music, and join us as we spiral into the wacky world of NFL conspiracies. Fair warning, you may never trust a holding call again. Number 10. The concussion cover-up. Back in the day, a guy would take a hit so hard he forgot his own name, and coaches would casually say, "He's fine, just got his bell rung." Turns out, that bell was actually his brain waving the white flag. For years, the NFL acted like concussions were no big deal. Meanwhile, science was screaming, guys, permanent brain damage over here." But it took lawsuits, bad press, and an HBO documentary avalanche to finally get the league's attention. The aftermath. Billion-dollar settlements, furious players, panicked moms, and rule changes that should have happened decades ago. Forget conspiracy. This was a scandal with shoulder pads. The truth didn't leak out. It blitzed through. Number 9. Spygate. In 2007, the Patriots got busted filming the Jets' defensive signals, aka Spygate. They lost a first-round pick, paid some fines, and Belichick probably rolled his eyes harder than anyone ever has in NFL history. But here's where it gets juicy. Fans think that wasn't a one-time slip-up, just the one time they got caught. Some say New England ran a full-on espionage operation, like a football version of the CIA. Honestly, if anyone has a secret underground tape vault and a swivel chair for evil plotting, it's Bill. There's no hard proof of a league-wide spy ring. But come on, the Jets were the victims. Does that mean they were actually dangerous at the time? Now that's the real mystery. Number 8. Star quarterbacks. Let's talk about the NFL's version of royalty. The elite quarterbacks. We're talking Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. Guys so popular, they could probably run for office and win in every state except maybe Buffalo. Have you ever noticed how defensive players barely breathe near these quarterbacks without drawing a roughing the passer flag? Seriously, if Mahomes sneezes and someone's within 6 feet, it's 15 yards. The theory here is that the league protects its most marketable stars to preserve ratings, merchandise sales, and those dramatic last 2 minutes comebacks. Refs are only human, of course, and humans are susceptible to pressure, popularity, and the occasional glossy magazine cover featuring their favorite QB. So while there's no official do not touch list, it does seem like certain quarterbacks are playing with an invisible force field. Coincidence or clever capitalism? Number 7. Deflategate. Deflation or retaliation? Ah yes, Deflategate, the air pressure scandal that had the entire country talking about PS. I like they were science professors. In the 2015 AFC Championship game, the Patriots were accused of using underinflated footballs to gain a better grip. Tom Brady got a 4-game suspension, and the Patriots' reputation, what was left of it after Spygate, took another hit. But some believe the punishment wasn't really about squishy footballs. Instead, it was the league's not-so-subtle revenge for Spygate and the general smugness of New England dominance. After all, the deflated balls were discovered in a blowout win. Hardly the kind of game that turns on grip strength. Could it be that the NFL used Deflategate to remind the Patriots who's boss? Was it karma, or was it calculated? One thing's for sure. That scandal produced more late-night jokes than any scandal in football history. Even Bill Nye got involved. Seriously. Number 6. Scheduling shenanigans. Each NFL team's schedule is technically based on a rotation formula, but you'd be forgiven for thinking there's a hidden backroom committee making sure certain matchups get primetime love. Ever notice how the Cowboys, who haven't sniffed a Super Bowl since Blockbuster was still around, get a nationally televised game every week? Or how the Chiefs seem to always have the juiciest Sunday night football spots? The NFL has admitted it tweaks the schedule to boost TV ratings. That includes hand-picking rivalry games, star-studded showdowns, and holiday specials that even grandma will tune in for. Of course, This leads to murmurs that certain teams are getting easier opponents or more rest days, all in the name of marketability. It's like the league is running a hit TV series and just happens to be the executive producer of its own drama. Number 5. The draft lottery that wasn't random. Let's go back to 1985. The NFL Draft Lottery gave the first overall pick to the struggling Chicago Bears, who used it to select Hall of Fame defensive lineman William the Refrigerator Perry. Wait, wrong draft. That's the NBA. But speaking of drafts, conspiracy theorists believe the NFL has subtly influenced draft outcomes to ensure certain stars land in desirable markets. While there's no formal lottery like the NBA's ping pong balls, the league does control how and when expansion teams enter, and how schedules shift to showcase rising stars. It's not exactly rigging, but if you believe the league wants to build storylines, then you might not be shocked if the next hot college QB ends up in a city that just so happens to need a ratings boost. Coincidence, or NFL films in action? Number 4. Did Super Bowl III save the AFL-NFL merger? Super Bowl III is famous for Joe Namath's guarantee that his underdog Jets would beat the Baltimore Colts. They did, and it was one of the biggest upsets in sports history. But skeptics wonder, was it just a fluke win, or a carefully orchestrated script? At the time, the merger between the NFL and AFL was still controversial. Many fans thought the AFL was inferior. If the Colts had destroyed the Jets, it could have jeopardized the merger's credibility. But the Jets winning gave the AFL much-needed legitimacy. No hard evidence points to a fix. But if there were ever a game that conveniently shifted public opinion at just the right time, this was it. Let's just say Vince McMahon would have been proud. Number 3. The frozen tundra advantage. There's something mystical about Lambeau Field in December. The ice, the foggy breath, the fans shirtless at -10 degrees Fahrenheit like it's a beach day. But is the frozen tundra a strategic advantage for the Packers? Some believe the field conditions have historically been, let's say, selectively prepared to favor the home team. Slippery turf, muddy sidelines, frozen footing. Could Green Bay be fine-tuning the tundra to trip up opponents? Of course, no team is going to admit to turning down the heaters. But if you're a dome team playing up north in January, it's not just the defense you're up against. It's the elements, and possibly an ice-hardened conspiracy. Number 2. Does the NFL script the season? This one gained traction thanks to former players joking about reading the script before the season. Social media ate it up, memes exploded. Suddenly, everyone was wondering if the NFL was just professional wrestling with better marketing. While it's a joke, mostly, some moments really make you question reality. That miraculous catch, the 28-3 comeback, the penalty that seemed designed for drama. And let's not forget those perfectly timed retirements or comebacks from players who just couldn't stay away. Is the NFL actually scripted? Almost certainly not. But do they edit their highlight packages like Hollywood trailers? You bet. Number 1. Officiating bias. Last but not least, the zebras. NFL refs are under a microscope every week, but fans have long believed certain teams and players benefit from more favorable calls. Maybe it's unconscious bias, maybe it's the fear of getting booed out of a stadium, or maybe, just maybe, the NFL prefers close games, big names, and dramatic finishes. That doesn't mean refs are throwing games, but when penalties swing momentum, when flags come late, or when reviews mysteriously favor big market teams, it's enough to fuel decades of barstool arguments. And let's be real, the refs are in on it is a lot more satisfying than our left tackle blew the block. All right, football fans, if you enjoyed going down the rabbit hole of football secrets and scandals, make sure to smash that like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next deep dive into the weird, wild, and possibly rigged world of sports. Thanks for watching.